Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing you've been sprinting your whole life chasing a finish line that doesn't exist. What if I told you that the race you think you're in was never real, and that true living begins the moment you stop running? Life is not a race, so why are you running? From the very beginning, society teaches us that we must hurry. As children, we are told to study faster, grow quicker, succeed sooner. We are handed invisible stopwatches and made to feel that every step we take must be faster than the person next to us. But pause for a moment and ask yourself, where is everyone rushing to? Is there really a medal waiting at the end of this frantic sprint? Or are we blindly running because everyone else seems to be? The truth is, life is not a competition with winners and losers. Life is an unfolding journey meant to be experienced, not a track field where you collapse breathless at the finish line. Yet most people live as though they are in some invisible marathon. They race for promotions, they race for wealth, they race for status. And when they finally get what they were racing toward, they realize the finish line has moved further away. The joy they thought they'd find there is still out of reach, so they start running again, faster this time, more desperately. But here's the question you must ask yourself. What if there is no finish line? What if the very act of racing is robbing you of the beauty of living? Look around. Nature doesn't run, it grows. The tree doesn't compete with the flower to see who blossoms first. The ocean doesn't rush to crash upon the shore quicker than yesterday. Existence flows. It unfolds. Yet here we are, sprinting past sunrises, sunsets, moments of laughter, and quiet breaths, all because we believe life is something to conquer rather than something to embrace. When you stop running, something incredible happens. Life slows down enough for you to actually see it. You start to notice the small things that were invisible at full speed: the warmth of a morning coffee, the sound of rain against your window, the gentle smile of a stranger. These are not background noises in life, they are life itself. But when you are running, you miss them, because your eyes are fixed on some imaginary prize that keeps moving out of reach. The tragedy is that many people only discover this truth at the very end of their journey. On their deathbeds, they don't speak of how fast they ran, how many deadlines they beat, or how far ahead they were of others. They speak of love, of moments, of memories. They speak of the things they didn't pause long enough to appreciate. That should tell you something powerful. Life was never about racing. It was always about living. The illusion of the race is fueled by comparison. We look at others and measure ourselves against them. He bought a new car, now I must get one too. She got married, why haven't I? They traveled abroad, am I falling behind? But behind what? There is no universal timeline for happiness. There is no universal clock ticking down on your worth. Your path is your own, and the moment you accept that, you are freed from the exhausting sprint of comparison. Running in this imaginary race also robs you of presence. You become so obsessed with where you are going that you forget where you are. Think of how often people say, once I graduate, then I'll be happy, or once I get that job, then I'll start living. But when they finally get there, the goalpost moves and happiness is postponed again. It is always someday, but someday never comes, because the race never ends. The only time you have is now, and the only way to live is to step out of the race and into the present. Ask yourself, what happens if you stop running? Fear tells you that you'll fall behind, that others will overtake you. But overtake you in what? Life is not a leaderboard. You are not behind anyone. You are only ever on your own journey, and no one else can walk it for you. When you realize this, you will see that there is no reason to rush. In fact, slowing down is the only way to actually live deeply and meaningfully. Consider the greatest joys you've experienced in life. Were they found in the rush or in the stillness? A child's laugh, a heartfelt conversation, a sunset shared with someone you love, these moments didn't come from racing. They came from stopping. They came from presence. And the irony is, those who run the fastest often miss the very treasures they are chasing. They think happiness is at the end of the road, not realizing it was scattered all along the path they were sprinting past. So why are you running? Are you running because you truly want what you're chasing, or because you've been conditioned to believe you must? If you stop today, if you stop chasing the endless race of society, would you really lose? Or would you finally gain your life back? Think about that. The secret to fulfillment is not in outrunning others, but in walking your own path with awareness. It is not in how quickly you arrive, but in how deeply you experience the journey. Slowing down doesn't mean giving up ambition. It doesn't mean abandoning your dreams. It means pursuing them with balance, without letting them rob you of the present. Because what good is success if you were too busy running to enjoy it? What good is wealth if you never had the time to sit and savor the life it was supposed to enhance? Life asks you for presence, not speed. It asks you to stop comparing, stop racing, stop rushing, and instead to live fully in each moment. To listen when someone speaks, to laugh without glancing at the clock, to feel gratitude for the breath you are taking right now. This is living. And once you taste it, you will never want to return to the exhausting race you once mistook for life. So I leave you with this. If life is not a race, then why are you running? You don't need to be faster. You don't need to be ahead. You only need to be here now. Slow down. Breathe. Look around. This moment is not a stepping stone, it is life itself. And the day you stop running is the day you finally start living. Life was never designed as a competition, it's a journey meant to be lived fully. Yet many have turned it into a racetrack where they constantly measure themselves against others, sprinting as though there is a grand prize waiting at the end. The truth is, there is no medal, no golden crown, only a life that either was fully experienced or hurriedly wasted. When you step away from the idea of competition, you begin to see that life is not about outshining someone else, it's about discovering your own light. Every day is an invitation to experience, to grow, to love, and to notice the small details that make existence meaningful. The sunrise is not asking who saw it first. The stars are not competing over who shines brighter. They simply are. And so should you. When you release the burden of constant comparison, you free yourself to live with authenticity. The journey becomes richer when you are not distracted by the illusion of winning. Life was always meant to be walked, savored, and embraced, not run, as if it were a sprint to the finish. The race you think you're in has no finish line, only endless chasing. You run towards success thinking it will satisfy you, but when you arrive, the target has already shifted further ahead. You chase wealth, then recognition, then another level of achievement, yet fulfillment continues to escape you. It is like running on a treadmill. You sweat, you exhaust yourself, but you remain in the same place. The idea of a finish line is an illusion, one that keeps you endlessly moving but never arriving. This is why so many people live exhausted and empty, because they do not realize the race was never real. Life does not ask you to reach a destination, but to awaken to the present. You were not born to compete in a marathon of endless goals. You were born to experience the wonder of being alive. Once you realize this, the endless chase stops and peace begins. Comparison is the fuel that keeps you running in circles. You see someone else's life, their possessions, their accomplishments, and suddenly you feel you are falling behind. This belief makes you sprint faster, but no matter how quickly you run, there will always be someone ahead in some area. That's because comparison is a trap with no exit. You will never feel enough if you measure yourself against others. Your journey is uniquely yours, and the pace of someone else has nothing to do with your story. The flower does not compare itself to the tree, yet both are beautiful in their own way. The ocean does not envy the sky, yet both are vast beyond measure. The day you stop comparing is the day you stop running in circles. You realize that your worth has nothing to do with how you rank in the eyes of others, and everything to do with how deep you live your own truth. Slowing down is not failure, it's the doorway to true living. We are conditioned to believe that rest is laziness, and that slowing down means we are falling behind. But the opposite is true. Slowing down allows us to finally connect with life. It gives us time to breathe, to notice, to truly experience. When you slow down, you begin to see what rushing blinded you from: the smile of a loved one, the beauty of silence, the richness of the moment. Life is not measured in how many things you accomplish, but in how deeply you experience the things that matter. Slowing down is choosing presence over productivity, depth over speed, joy over pressure. It is not weakness, it is strength. It takes courage to step away from the noise of the race and embrace stillness. And in that stillness, you discover that everything you were running toward was already within you. Nature never rushes, yet everything unfolds in perfect timing. The tree does not push itself to grow faster than its roots allow. The seasons shift without stress or competition, each arriving exactly when they are meant to. The river flows at its own pace, yet always finds its way to the sea. There is wisdom in the rhythm of nature, a reminder that life is not about haste but about harmony. If nature can accomplish so much without rushing, why do you think you must sprint? You, too, are a part of this great design. Your life has its seasons, its timing, its rhythm. Trust that timing instead of forcing yourself into a race you were never meant to run. The oak tree takes years to reach its full strength, yet no one doubts its greatness. Likewise, your journey may take time, but it will unfold as it must. The rush only robs you of the beauty of the process. Happiness is not waiting at the end of the road, it is scattered along the way. Yet most people sprint past it, eyes fixed on some far-off goal. They tell themselves, I'll be happy when, and miss the countless moments of joy in the present. True happiness is found in laughter, in love, in gratitude, in the small moments that seem ordinary until you stop to notice them. It is not something you achieve, it is something you allow yourself to feel right now. The danger of always running is that you postpone happiness endlessly, believing it is a reward to be earned rather than a gift already available. Stop chasing and start noticing. The warmth of the sun on your skin, the kindness of a friend, the quiet peace of solitude, these are not distractions from life, they are life. Happiness was never hiding at the finish line. It has been here all along, waiting for you to pause long enough to see it. Presence is the antidote to the illusion of racing. When you are present, the race dissolves. You are no longer obsessed with the future or haunted by the past. You are here now. In presence, you discover that the pressure to run faster fades away. Presence invites you to taste your food instead of just eating it, to hear the music instead of letting it be background noise, to truly see the people you love instead of merely being around them. Racing steals presence. It tells you to focus only on what's next. But presence reclaims your life, moment by moment. Every deep breath, every mindful step, every conscious choice pulls you out of the illusion of running and into the reality of living. When you are present, there is no race to win. There is only the richness of the moment unfolding before you, perfect as it is. Your path is unique. No one else can overtake you on it. Imagine a painter comparing himself to a musician. How absurd it would be to compete when their art is so different. Yet this is what people do when they compare lives. They forget that each life has a distinct rhythm, a unique calling, a personal journey. What makes sense for one may not make sense for another. You cannot be behind or ahead when your path was never meant to match theirs. Your growth, your timing, your unfolding, it is yours alone. When you accept this, you free yourself from the toxic habit of measuring yourself against others. You realize that there is no race at all, only roads, and each road belongs to the one walking it. So stop running towards someone else's destination. Walk your own path with courage and peace, knowing that no one can replace your journey. The faster you run, the more life's treasures slip past unnoticed. Think of how often you've rushed through days, weeks, even years, only to look back and realize you barely remember them. In running so quickly, you miss the simple joys, the conversations, the sunsets, the laughter that makes life meaningful. Treasures are not found at the end of the sprint, but along the way, hidden in the moments you rush past. By slowing down, you begin to notice them. The quiet beauty of morning light, the sound of birdsong, the gentle presence of those you love. These are the jewels of existence, and they can only be collected when you stop racing. The faster you move, the less you truly see. But when you allow yourself to walk instead of run, the world becomes brighter, richer, and infinitely more beautiful. Real joy is always found in stillness, not in speed. When you are still, you create space to feel deeply, to connect, to simply be. In speed, you are distracted, constantly reaching for what's never satisfied with what is here. Stillness opens the door to gratitude, to peace, to contentment. It allows you to realize that joy is not something to be achieved, but something to be experienced in the quiet of the moment. The beauty of stillness is that it grounds you. It takes you out of the noise of comparison and competition, and it centers you in truth. Joy is the laughter that comes unexpectedly, the peace that arrives in silence, the love that flows when you are fully present. You cannot rush joy. It only reveals itself when you are willing to be still enough to notice it. You are not behind anyone. Your life is unfolding at its own rhythm. Society tells you there's a timeline you must follow: graduate by this age, marry by that age, achieve certain milestones before it's too late. But this is a lie that keeps people anxious and rushing. Your timing is your timing. Just as flowers bloom in different seasons, your life will unfold when it is meant to. Being behind is an illusion created by comparison. The truth is, you are exactly where you need to be for the lessons you must learn, the growth you must experience, and the journey you must walk. Trust the timing. The pressure to be somewhere else only robs you of peace in the present. You are not late. You are not missing out. You are right where you are supposed to be, and your rhythm is perfect for you. True success is savoring the journey, not sprinting toward a destination. Too often, people believe success is a place you arrive at, a point in the future where everything finally feels complete. But success is not a destination, it is how you live along the way. It is the ability to find joy in the process, to grow through the challenges, to love deeply while you walk the path. Sprinting toward a future moment only blinds you to the success you are already living. If you wake with gratitude, if you share love, if you are present in this moment, you are already successful. Redefine success not as something far away, but as the ability to savor the step you are taking right now. When you do, you'll see that you don't need to run to arrive. You were already home all along. Gratitude slows you down enough to recognize life's hidden gifts. When you are grateful, you stop rushing past the blessings in front of you. You notice the beauty in the ordinary: a meal, a smile, a breath. Gratitude anchors you in the present, pulling you out of the illusion that joy is somewhere else. It tells you, look around, there is already so much to cherish. The runner never sees this because their eyes are fixed on the future. But gratitude invites you to pause, to look, to see clearly. And when you do, life becomes richer instantly. Gratitude transforms ordinary days into extraordinary ones, reminding you that the very things you overlook are the treasures you were searching for. It is gratitude that shifts your pace from racing to living. The moment you stop running is the moment you finally start living. Life is not in the rush, it is in the pause. It is in the laughter you hear, the silence you embrace, the breath you take with awareness. Running keeps you chasing shadows of happiness, but stillness gives you the real thing. When you stop, the race dissolves, and what remains is life in its purest form. You realize that you were never late, never behind, never unworthy. You were simply caught in the illusion of speed. Stopping is not giving up, it is waking up. It is choosing to experience the richness of this moment instead of chasing the next one. Living begins when the running ends. And once you taste this truth, you will never again mistake the race for life.